Good evening, friends. Let us start. Let us continue our session. Our session on solving the previous question paper. Right? We had done around 45 questions earlier. Let's continue with the remaining questions. We have reached the data interpretation stage. That's it, this section. Question number 46 onwards, right? 46 to 50. These five questions are data interpretation. Let's look at this. Here, a table is given. Um, Study the given table carefully to answer the following questions. Here the table is given triangle, rectangle, square, parallelogram, circle, etc. And the side, the base, the height, the radius, etc. Then cost of flooring and cost of fencing. Cost of flooring means it's an area. Flooring is about area, right? Fencing is about perimeter. Okay. Here it is given like this. Now what they are asking, A is triangle. What is the cost of flooring of A, which is a triangle? We know triangles area of triangle is half of base into height. That we all know, right? Here what it is given, half of base into height. Base is 16, 16 into 12 by 2. 16 into 12 by 2, that is 8 was 96. And per each square meter is taken 50. So 96 into 50, right? It is 4800. What you have to do? This is 48 into 100, right? 96 by 2, which is 48 into 100. 4800. Okay. You need to do this kind of calculation. Now, half triangle's area is half of base into height. Half of base into height. How did we get this? How do we derive this? Let's say there is some triangle like this. There is a triangle like this. Okay. Now this triangle, this is the entire base, right? This is the entire base. And then what can happen? A triangle can be fit with two rectangles like this. Let's say this is one rectangle like this. Okay. And let's take another rectangle and the rectangle which is like this. Okay, one rectangle like this, another rectangle like this. Okay, this part of the triangle, left part of the triangle is the area of this part of the triangle is half the area of this rectangle, right? This is just this triangle and this triangle are exactly congruent. So this triangle, left part of the triangle is half the area of this entire rectangle, right? This triangle is half of this entire rectangle, right? Okay, let's take any triangle. Okay, so this triangle is half the area of uh, this triangle, whatever, this one half part of the rectangle. Okay, so the blue part of this triangle is equal to half of this entire rectangle. Okay, similarly, this blue part of this triangle is equal to half of this entire rectangle, right? So one part of the triangle is half of one rectangle. Another part of the triangle is half of another rectangle. This part and this part need not be equal. Okay, but we still know that this triangle is half of two rectangles. One part of this is half of this rectangle, leftmost rectangle, and this part is actually half of this rectangle. Let me shape colors it out. Okay, this triangle is actually one half of green rectangle plus half of this orange rectangle. Okay. Let's assume this entire base of this triangle. Let's say if it is, let's say 10 units, 10 units, and then this half, it can be 8, then it will be 2, or it can be 6, then it will be 4, anything like this, right? Let whatever it is. If this is x, if this is x, then this becomes 10 minus x. Okay. And then let's say this is h. This is h. That is height, let it be height. Now left orange is rectangle. What is the area of this rectangle? X into h. Right. What is the area of the green rectangle? This is 1 minus x into h. Right? 1 minus x into h. Now half of this rectangle plus half of this rectangle. That is the area of our triangle, our blue triangle, which is equal to, this is equal to half h taking common x plus 1 minus x. Okay, so x get, sorry, x, this is 10 minus x, sorry, 10 minus x plus 10 minus x. We assume that this part is x, then total is 10, then this is 10 minus x. Or if the total part, if we assume it is b, then 10 becomes b, x plus b minus x, half of h into x plus b minus x gets cancelled, half of h into b. H is this height and b is our base. Okay, so this works for any triangle. How did we arrive at half of b into h? This we had studied in our geometry in our school. During our school days, we had studied in geometry. This is half into base into height, the area of any triangle. How did we derive this? Because a triangle is actually made of two halves of two rectangles. What are these two rectangles? Any rectangles, any two rectangles. Okay, one of them, whatever, if you split the entire base into x into b minus x, then first half of the rectangle is that x into height, x into height. The another rectangle is b minus x into height. Now this triangle is actually the sum of half of this orange rectangle and half of this green rectangle, which is this. Okay, hope you understood this. Right, it is important to appreciate how we arrive at these formulas. Then our conceptual clarity would be higher and we'll be in a better position to solve even more complex problems. Right, cost of flooring of A, cost of flooring, we had done this very easily. What is the difference between cost of fencing of C and that of B? C is a square, fencing of square. That means 4 into 15, that is 60. 60 into 18, right? 60 into 18 or 15. Fencing of B, sorry. Fencing of, what is the difference between cost of fencing of C and that of B? C is 4 into 60, 60 into 18, 1080, right? That is for square. For rectangle, what is the perimeter? For any rectangle, 2 times length and 2 times breadth. 2 lengths and 2 breadths. Okay, 2 into length plus breadth. Right, 2 into 10 plus 20, that is 60. 60 into rectangle, what exactly is the cost of fencing? 60 into 15. 60 into 15, 19, 900, right? This is 1080, this is 900. So what is the difference? 180. 180 is the correct answer. Difference between cost of fencing of C and that of B, between rectangle and that of square. What is the ratio of cost of flooring? Cost of flooring means it is area. To that fencing of field D. What is D? D is a parallelogram. Parallelogram, and the base is uh, 20, height is 12. What is the area of parallelogram? Area of parallelogram is the same as that of base into height. Right? It is base into height, area of parallelogram. Okay, base into height, which is 20 into 12, which is 240. You can say 20 into 12 is 240. And the cost of flooring is 60. 240 into 60. Right? 240 into 60, this is 120 into 120, right? 12 12s are 144. 240 is 120 into 2 into 60. 2 into 60. 120 into 120. 12 square. We know this. Right? 1440. Similarly, perimeter. What is perimeter? 2 times length plus 2 times breadth. 2 into 20 plus 12. 2 into 32, 64 meters. 64 into 25 is already given. Parallelogram. 25 is the fencing cost. Right? 64 into 25. Right? 1600 that is. So 1440 plus 1600. 16 nines are 144. So 9 is to 1 is the ratio. Now, so parallelogram, we all know it. Parallelogram, how does it look? Parallelogram, it looks like this. Right. Okay, this is a parallelogram. Now, for a parallelogram, how how did we arrive at this area? How did we arrive at this area, which is um, the area which is base into height. This is base and this is height. Base is this to this. This is base. Height is this to base. Now let's take this triangle. This triangle. What you do? We cut this triangle and paste it here. This is exactly the same triangle, right? If you cut this and paste it here, right? What will be the new shape? This is removed. This becomes exactly a rectangle. The same base with the same height, right? We removed this part from here and pasted it here. So the base will remain same. This part will get removed and this part will get pasted. Okay, and height is anyway same. So parallelogram, we are able to convert this into a rectangle of same base, same height. We are not losing any area here. Right. So parallelogram's area is base into height. These derivations are actually important to appreciate geometry and to appreciate these problems and to have better conceptual clarity and to be able to solve these problems very easily. Okay. So we have finished this one also. Let's get to the next one. Cost of fencing of field D is approximately what percent of cost of fencing, cost of flooring field C. E and C. What is E? E is a circle, C is a square. Okay, circle is 2 pi r is the perimeter. Fencing means pi r square if it is area. Okay. Now, perimeter of is 2 pi r. 2 into pi into 7. Pi approximation is 22 by 7 into 7, which is 224 into 10, 440 by 7. That is the perimeter of E. Cost of this is into 12 into 22. That is also given. Right? You can do this calculation. This comes out to be 1382.8. Similarly, area of C, which is a square, 15 into 15, which is 225. And cost of flooring, 225 into 4, which is actually 9,000. Right? 225 into 4 is 9,000. Right? 4 200 is 800 and 425 is 100, which is 900. So 40 into 225 is 9,000. So this 1382.8 by 9,000. What exactly is this? It is 15.4%. This is an easy calculation only. All these questions are easy questions. So we should not lose marks here. Here, anywhere between 30 seconds to 60 seconds, we should be able to solve this. Similarly, cost of fencing of field C is what percent of cost of fencing of field D. Field C fencing we just discussed, right? In the beginning. Field C 1080, right? C is the square. Cost of fencing we are already done that. We should not redo the same work. Fencing of cost, fencing cost of D. This also we had done 1600, right? Earlier we had done 1600. This one. Okay. So we had done this. These are all easy problems. 1080 by 1600. Then what does this mean? 427 by 40, which is 67.5%. These are very easy problems and we should get maximum marks here. These are plain simple calculations. The only thing that we should know is what is a triangle, what is a triangle, what is a square, what is a rectangle, what is a parallelogram, and what are those areas and what are those perimeters. We just need to know these formulae. Okay. All these 5 questions within 5 minutes, we have finished, right? Let's get to the next set of 8 questions. These are also data interpretation questions. Okay, data interpretation is very important. These are really easy questions. We just need to understand what is the data and do some bit of calculations. Okay, here what it is given, percentage of various regiments in the army. There is some army which is of 10,000 people. 10,000 people. Of this, jet is 35%. That means 3,500. Jet is 3,500. Bihar is 1,200. Maratha is 1,800. Madras is 1,500. Sikh is 2,000. All put together, total is 10,000. That's what they are saying. Now, in this 35%, that is in this 3,500, Hindu and other religions are in this ratio 4 is to 5. For every one others, there are 4 Hindus. Similarly, 3 is to 5 in Sikh. Okay, in this 2,000, 3 is to 5 in Sikh. Madras, 2 is to 1. For every one other people, there are two Hindus. Okay, this 1,500. That's what the data is given. Okay, the data is the questions that are given are very, very simple questions. Very simple questions. What is the army and in which regiment, how many people are there, and what is the composition of Hindu versus other religions in each of those regiments? This is the data that is given. Okay, now let's try to calculate. Number of soldiers, what is the number of Hindu soldiers in Jet regiment? Jet regiment is total is 3,500 and Hindu is 4 by 5 of this 3,500. Right? First is 3,500, 1,000 into 35%, 3,500, and 4 by 5 of 3,500. 4 by 5 of 3,500 is 4 into 700 is 2,800. Right? This is an easy problem. Within seconds, we should be able to solve. What is the difference between Hindu soldiers of Madras regiment and soldiers of other religions in Bihar regiment? Madras regiment, 1,500 people are there, of which Hindu are 2 by 3 of 1,500. That is, 2 by 3 of 1,500 is 1,000. 3, 500 times it will go. 2 into 500 is 1,000. In the soldiers of Madras regiment is 1,000. Other soldiers of Bihar regiment. Bihar regiment, how many? 1,200 are there. Bihar regiment. Others are 3 by 8 of this 1,200, which is 450, right? 3 by 8 of 1,200 is 450, right? 8 150s are 1,200 and 3 into 150 is 450. So what is the difference? There are 1,000 here. In the soldiers in Maratha, in Madras, there are 1,000. In other soldiers in Bihar regiment are 450. 1,000 minus 450 is 550. This is also an easy problem. The number of soldiers, Hindu soldiers in Sikh regiment is what percent of number of other soldiers in Maratha regiment? Number of Hindu soldiers in Sikh. Sikh total is 2,000, right? Of which Hindu is 3 by 8 of 2,000, right? 3 by 8. 2,000 by 8 is 250. Into 3, it is 750. 750 Hindu soldiers are there in Sikh regiment. And in number of other soldiers in Maratha. Maratha is 2 by 5 of 1,800, right? 2 by 5 of 1,800. 5, 360 times it goes in 1,800. 2 into 360 is 720, right? So now 750 by 720, right? 75 by 72. You can it roughly translate to 104.16%. This calculation you can do, right? These are plain easy calculations, right? That's why I'm going fast. There's not much, there is no confusion here. Very plain, easy calculation. Only thing that we have to understand is that in 10,000 army men, there are different regiments, and within each regiment, there is a distribution between Hindu and other religion. Okay, then 54. In which regiment is the number of non-Hindu soldiers the maximum? That means in all regions we have to calculate non-Hindu soldiers. Jet regiment you had calculated in the beginning only, like 3,500 minus 2,800, right? Hindu regions, Hindu ones we have calculated, so that means the remaining one are non-Hindu. 35 minus 2,800 is 700. Sikh is 2,000 into 5 by 8, right? That is 125. Sorry. 2000 into 5 by 8, which is 1250. 8 goes to 250 times. 250 into 8 is 2000 into 5. 250 into 5, it is 1250. Right. Madras Regiment. Madras Regiment, how many non-Hindus are there? This is 1 by 3 into 1 by 3 of 1800, right? 1 by 3 of Madras is 1500, sorry. 1 by 3 of 1500 is 500. Okay. Maratha Regiment. Maratha Regiment of non-Hindus. Non-Hindu Madras 2 by 5 into 2 by 5 into 1800. Right? 2 by 5 into 1800. 5 360s or 1800. 5 360s is 1800. So it is 720. And Bihar Regiment is 1200 into 3 by 8. 3 by 8 of non-Hindus into Bihar 1200. 3 by 8 into 1200. 8 150s, 1200, 3 into 150, 450. Of all of this, Sikh regiment has got the highest non-Hindu soldiers. Okay, this is also an easy problem. What is the ratio of number of Hindu soldiers in Bihar regiment to the number of non-Hindu soldiers in Jat regiment? Non-Hindu in Jat is 700, right? Number of Hindu soldiers in Bihar. Bihar is 1200 minus 450, right? Okay, 1200 minus 450, which is 750. 750 by 700. 15 is to 4. Okay, so this is also an easy problem. Okay, see all these problems 51 to 58. We didn't take even 5 minutes. This we all finished so fast. So these are easy problems. Data interpretation problems are very easy. You should be able to any kind of problem. It's just probably only difficult thing it might have is these problems might have is little bit of calculation. Otherwise, these are sure short questions. You should not miss anything in data interpretation. If needed, you just need to improve your calculation skills, improve your speed in calculation. We'll take other sessions also on how to improve your calculation speed as well. Okay, cool. This is an interesting problem. Compound interest on an amount of 29,000 in 2 years. Is this what is the rate of interest? Compound interest formula we all know. Amount is principal into 1 plus rate, 1 plus rate. If it is 10%, then 10 by 100, 0.1. 1.1 power raised to this many years. Right? That is the amount. Right? If you started with 100 rupees and it is 10%, on first year it is 100 into 1.1. And second year it is 100 into 1.1 into 1.1. Right? That is compound interest. We all know this, right? Let's say start with 100 rupees and 10% interest rate. At the end of first year, 100 into 1.1. Second year, it would be 100 into 1.1 into 1.1. Because this becomes the principal for the second year, then another 1.1, which is equal to 100 into 1.1 square. Similarly, after third year, this becomes the principal. So 100 into 1.1 cube, like this. Okay, so which is what this is. Now, what he is saying, 29,000 he started and 9352. That means what is the amount? Amount is this plus 9352, which is 38,352.5. 38,352.15 is equal to P into 1 plus whatever this one power raised to power n. So this by this is equal to 1.3225 and n is 2 that we already know. And 132.25. Just by looking at this number, we should be able to say it is 115 square. Okay. This we should be able to spot immediately. 132, 132.25 is equal to 115 square. This we should be able to spot immediately. How? 115 square. 115 square is equal to 11 twelves, 132.25. Just by looking at this number, because any square that is ending in 5 will have this property, right? 65 square equal to 6 into 7. 6 sevens, 42.25. What is 55 square? 5 into 6, 30, 25. Okay. Similarly, 115 square. 115 square is equal to 11 into 12. 11 12s, 132, 25. Okay. This is how it is. So just by looking at this, we can say it is 1.15 square. 1.15 means the interest rate is 15%, right? 1 plus 15 by 100. That is 1.1 plus 0.15. 15% is the answer. Okay. So then in these problems, we will get a clear solution. We will get a good number. We will get in a proper perfect square. Right. This number, whatever it is, because interest rate is constant, it has to be a proper perfect square. So that's why you should look for a perfect square. This number, right? This number will definitely end in a perfect square that we already know. So that's why we should look for it. Now, three friends A, B, and C start running around a circular stadium and complete a single round in 8, 18, and 15 seconds. Okay, 8, 18, and 15 seconds. How many minutes will they meet again at the starting point for the first time? What does mean? People are taking 8 seconds, 18 seconds, 15 seconds. That means they will meet again after the LCM of these three numbers. Right. So, for example, around the ground, if I am able to run in 10 minutes and you are able to run in 5 minutes. I am able to run in 10 minutes, you are able to run in 5 minutes. That means after 10 minutes, we'll again meet at the beginning, right? I will be completing one round, you will be completing two rounds, and still we'll be meeting at, uh, we'll meet at the starting point at after 10 minutes, right? I would have finished the one round, you would have finished two rounds because 10 is the LCM of 10 and 5, right? Similarly, similarly, I take 30 minutes, you take 20 minutes, right? 30 and 20. Then after 60 minutes, we will again meet at the beginning, right? After 60 minutes. Because in 30 minutes, in 60 minutes, I would have finished two rounds. Two rounds, and you would have finished three rounds. And that's how we would meet at the beginning, once again at 60 minutes. So in these cases, when we know the time periods of different people, how long they are taking to complete the rounds. Okay, what we just have to do is we just need to calculate the LCM and find out. At that LCM, these all people will meet. The LCM of 8, 50, and 18. This is equal to 360, which is equal to 6 minutes. This is an easy problem. This also should not take more than 30 seconds. Next one. Perimeter of a square is equal to radius of a circle having an area of this and this. What is the area of the square? What is the area of circle is pi r square. Pi r square equal to 39424. That means r square equal to 39424 into 7 by 22. So we look at this number, we can very easily tell 3 plus 4 plus 4, which is 11, 9 plus 2 is also 11. That means it is divisible by 11 and it is an even number. That means it is divisible by 2 also. That means it is divisible by 22 also. Right. Just by looking at the number, you don't need to worry. Just by looking at the number, you can say that this is divisible by 11 and divisible by 22 actually. So you do the calculation, you will get 12544. That means R is actually 112. Here what is saying? Perimeter of a square is equal to radius of circle. That means 4 into side. Let's say A is the side, is the length of the side. 4 A is equal to 112. A is equal to 112 by 4, which is 28. So that means what is the area of the square? Area of the square is sides squares. 28 square, which is 784. Right. This is also an easy problem. We faced all easy problems only. Only difficult problems that we found in this entire paper, in the entire previous question paper, slightly difficult problem is this analytical reasoning, this problem. This problem is the only one that is slightly difficult. Rest all problems are actually very easy. Right? We have discussed all the problems, all these problems. The series problems are also very easy. And these relations, algebraic equations, these are also very easy. Just need to solve them. And the next set of problems. This data interpretation problem is also very easy. It's just plain calculation, right? All calculation related. This is also very plain calculation. These are also very easy problems, right? All easy problems. And then this is some area problem which is also easy. And then one compound interest related problem which is also plain calculation. So we faced all the easy problems only except for one analytical reasoning sitting arrangement problem, right? We will continue with the remaining part of the question paper in the next video. Please keep practicing. All the best. Any doubts? Please write. Thank you. Bye bye.